How's it going, YouTube? This is Slacker Magician, coming at you today with a review of the latest announced Noble Knight card, spell card called Last Chapter of the Noble Knights. I heard about it on Mega Capital G's channel, and he was talking about how it's a cool +2 for Noble Knights, and I'm here to show you today that it is actually a +9. That is broke as hell, and it's actually not released on Dueling Network yet. So I'm going to be using Bujin Carnation as a proxy for it because it's kind of a similar card. But I don't have any field whatsoever right now, no cards in hand, and that's just to display you can go from nothing, absolutely nothing, top decking with only 3 cards in your graveyard, and you can end up with this insane field that we're going to end up just all from 1 card. So let's get started, shall we? Let's pretend our opponent is completely wrecking us. And one thing I gotta mention is that this won't work if your opponent has any like summon reactive traps like Bottomless or Solemn, or even Sanctum is kind of like a summon reactive trap because it just pops your monster. But so let's just pretend that these 2 spells are let's say Mirror Force and a Dimensional Prison, and let's pretend that this face down card is a face down Geared G Armor. So we have absolutely nothing against our opponent who still has 6 cards, and we pray to the high gods of Lancelin, and what do we top deck? Pretend this is Last Chapter of the Noble Knights. And Last Chapter of the Noble Knights effect is if your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, which is actually a good thing because Majot's effect can only go off if he's the only monster on the field anyway. Because if there are no other monsters on the field, or if you control no other monsters. Did I read the effect already? Sorry. You special summon 1 Noble Knight from your graveyard, and then you equip it with 1 Noble Arm in your graveyard. So our Feuder's effect is it can reduce a monster that's equipped with it attack by 500, and you can destroy 1 set card your opponent controls. So let's go ahead and destroy that Dimensional Prison. I trolled the guy so that he would leave, and I could get this video recorded. So I can't actually send this to the graveyard, but just keep it in your heads that this card's destroyed. You won't have to remember for much longer. Just at the end of this video, or at the end of this combo, all 3 of these cards will be destroyed. That's all you need to know. So our Feuder's effect activates, reducing Majot's attack by 500. Doesn't matter whatsoever because we're about to use him as an Xyz material anyway. He's not going to get an attack off. Activate Majot's effect to special summon 1 Noble Knight from the deck in face-up defense position. Obviously we're going to go for Boars. This is the basic play of Noble Knights. When Majot uses his effect, the card equipped to him is destroyed, and then we re-equip it to 1 other Noble Knight on the field. You could technically equip it to Majot again, but that would be useless because you can't use his effect now that Boars is on the field. So you can equip it to Boars, and this allows you to use our Feuder's effect once again. You could even technically use it 3 times once you summon the boss monster, but we're going to go and pop that second back row, which is a Mirror Force or D Prison, and then we're going to use Boars' effect when he's equipped with a Noble Arm. You can randomly, it's random, you select 3 Noble Knights in your deck, Noble Arms in your deck, and 1 is randomly added to your hand, 2 are sent to the graveyard. So how about let's say Guinevere is 1. We'll do a die roll. Guinevere is 1 and 2. Excalibur will be 4 and 3. And what's the one we're missing? Did I say Guinevere? Forget it. It doesn't really matter since this isn't a real duel. So we'll just send Guinevere to the graveyard. Caliburn was the one I was forgetting. Caliburn to the graveyard, and let's say we got... Actually, that wouldn't work if it was Excalibur, because Excalibur is the only one that doesn't reattach itself when it's... Actually, I don't think it matters. Let's find out if it matters, if Excalibur can be the one that's sent to your hand. Looks like it doesn't matter. I already realized. So you're going to equip... oh no, it does. Wow, I screwed up the combo again. I'm just gonna continue this video. I might re-record it anyway. But it actually can't be Excalibur that is in your that you draw, because it's not going to re-equip itself to the big daddy. From anyone else play BioShock? Wow, I actually screwed myself over, because alright, let's say that this got sent to the graveyard off of Boards' effect, or it was the one that was already in the graveyard, and we get Caliburn into hand, because Destiny was already in the graveyard. So we will then equip the Caliburn from Boards' effect to Madrout, making them both level 5. We'll actually activate Caliburn's effect to I wonder if you can only control one Arfuder. And then we'll overlay them and bring out the big boss, Sacred Noble Knight Arthur, or Artorigus, whatever you want to call him. Arfuder's already used its effect to reborn itself this turn, but Caliburn has actually not, so it will re-equip itself to this guy, and this guy's effect is that he can equip 3 noble arms from the graveyard to onto him. So we're going to go ahead and target Excalibur, Arfuder, and Destiny. And you can use Arfuder's effect again, popping another set. You could even pop a face-down monster. And then Guinevere will use her own effect to equip himself to this guy. And you can detach one of his materials to pop a monster as well. So if you use Arfuder, you can, it's actually a +10 if you use it, but I probably wouldn't recommend that. I'd keep this guy at, well, let's see, you might want to equip him with Gallatin. This offers an attack boost, doesn't it? 300. So he's at 2500, can't be destroyed. That's not anything to really scoff at. And also doesn't make it so he automatically wins battles. Nope. It makes it so he can't. That kind of blows. But the point of the story is that we have now essentially remember, we had nothing at the beginning of this, and now we have 1 monster, 6 Speller Traps, and we've reduced our opponent by 3 or 4 cards. Now that is what I call going +10, folks. And that's about it. That wraps it up for today. This has been Slacker Magician. Get ready to play some Noble Knights, or at the very least play against Noble Knights players, because this card is going to make the deck pretty broke. This has been Slacker Magician.